everyone, Charlie here. I hope you're all doing well. If you saw yesterday's, well, what will kind of be yesterday's one cuppa, you'll know that the reason why I'm out on the trail is that I'm just on my way down from the top of Monjuusan here in here in Sabae City, and I got a really nice view of Sabae and Fukui City, which you would have seen in sort of the intro of this video, I suppose. I got to the top, ate my donut, and then I just sort of like sat there for, I don't know, it looks like it's about 2 hours. And while I was up there, I met some people, I talked to some people. This really nice old guy gave me a beer and sort of told me how he's learning English by NHK. He proceeded to demonstrate by telling me that he didn't want this beer anymore because it was too heavy, though I think he was just being really kind. I went up there to reconnect, and because I wanted to get out of the apartment, and because I wanted a good place to write, so that's what I did most of the time I was up there. But as I was writing and I was just sort of basking in that environment, I started to think about the differences and the similarities between sort of hiking in America versus hiking in Japan. So I thought I'd share with you today just a couple things that I noticed, right? So the first thing is gear. As a general rule, when people here have a hobby, they don't half-ass that hobby. Ooh, he says as he almost dies. Like, people to get on the trails here are geared to the teeth. They have like special hiking pants, hiking shirt, hiking spandex, hiking pack, hiking poles, everything, right? So they're really, really well geared. And like, I mean, me, I have a pack, I have a bladder, I have boots and all that jazz, right? Like, I feel like I have like enough of what I need, but as you can see, like I'm wearing sort of normal pants and like a t-shirt, right? Even back home on like, if I would go on like a 2-day hike, right, where I would camp out overnight, like, yeah, you'd see people with the gear they need, right? But not like so geared to the teeth where like you can tell just by looking at them that they dropped like hundreds of dollars at like Montbell or what is it, North Face, Columbia, things like that, right? So anyway, I just think it's a really interesting thing because people here, they just, hello there, little beetle, I won't harm you. Yeah, people just get really into it. That's the first thing, right, is the gear. The second thing is, and we're going downhill here, so this might get a little tricky. If I die, interesting thing, because you'll see it on camera. Well, maybe if somebody, anyway. The second thing is, yeah, sort of like the age of people who get into hiking here seems to be by and large a lot older. Back home it's usually people my age or like people from like 18 to my increasingly decrepit age who hike. But here, usually when I meet people on the mountain, it's old people, like 60 plus kind of thing. I don't know what it is, if it's because of the next thing I'm going to talk about, or if it's just because young people are more interested here in going out to karaoke and going drinking and banging and things like that, which, people like those things. The third thing related to that is that there's almost, not always, but oftentimes there is either a celebratory aspect to why people are taking the climb or a religious one. Yeah, the people up there, everybody I met up there was sort of celebrating. There was this one group of women up there that was celebrating their friend preparing to get married. There was another group of just this group of 2 women. The married one, just telling by her ring, yeah, she's pregnant. So they were up there sort of celebrating and eating cup noodles that they were cooking. They were cooking on like a little burner that they brought with them. Again, the crazy amount of gear. Yeah, they were celebrating. So many people up there celebrate, and that's been what I've seen and observed when I bothered to stick around, is that usually people, when they go up, I mean, of course, people like me are plentiful too, where they just go up because they want to get a taste of nature and see the world a little bit, the world around them a bit better. But then there's also the religious aspect, right? So many times when I bother, if I bother to get up before sunset to scale like the much smaller much smaller mountain near my house. When I get up there in the morning, there are always people there with like this kind of thing, right? Prayer beads wrapped around their hand, praying toward the sun when the sun rises. So I always see like sort of a, if not religious, at least like a spiritual aspect to being up on the mountain. So I don't know, I just find that really, really interesting. You know, I've never seen that back home. Not to say it doesn't happen, but yeah, I've never seen people like go to the mountain and pray or get to the top and be like, yay, congratulations on whatever. I've seen people go up and get engaged on the top of the mountain or on the top of the peak, if that's the better way to put it, on occasion. But yeah, never have I met anybody who was like, let's celebrate by going and getting super sweaty and making ourselves hurt a lot and things like that. But hey, that sounds like a great time to me. Despite the differences, the one thing that I've found to be constant, whether I was hiking in the States with people from the States, or hiking in the States with Japanese people or German people or whatever, and now here too, when I hike and I meet people, hikers are generous people. Super generous people. It's sort of like, I feel the same way about hikers as I do about runners. Of course there are exceptions to this rule, but I just mean to say, like, yeah, there are, I don't know if it's just because you're moving and everybody's sort of doing this hard thing by climbing up the trails, or it's that sort of sedative experience of reconnecting with nature and seeing the beauty around you. Like, people are just so calm. Like I told you about that guy who gave me a beer, right? And I've had other times when we've been on the trail where you just meet people and they're like, hey man, we're grilling over here. We notice you're eating like a rice ball. Do you want to come over and have something to eat? Like, those things happen here and they happen back home, and it's one of the reasons why I love hiking so much, just because you meet the most generous, sort of connected, grounded people, both here and at home. So anyway, those are just my observations about hiking, and I suppose the hiking community here in Japan. If you're a hiker here, for example, my friend Adrian, who I met in Osaka, I know that you're a big hiker. Yeah, I would love to hear like what your experiences have been. If you think I'm talking out my ass, if you think I'm hitting the nail on the head, whatever the case may be, of course, let me know down in the comments below. And in addition to that, tell me about, if you're not here in Japan or you're not from America, tell me about the hiking community where you're from, and tell me about your favorite hikes that you've ever taken, whether they've just been day hikes or they've been through hikes on long trail systems, whatever the case may be. Love to talk to you guys about it, of course. And yeah, on that note, as we take a stop and we sort of appreciate this beautiful, beautiful spring day. Thank you as always for watching, guys. I really, really appreciate it. And I'll see you all very soon indeed. Cheers. The road goes ever on and on, down from the doors where it began. However far it may go, I must follow if I can. Well, Baggins, do not take me for some conjurer of cheap tricks. What is going on? I don't know why I'm doing this. Okay.